When you think of a fast prime lens, what do you think? 1.8, 1.4? Or you think of something crazy expensive like a hyper prime, or the illustrious like a Noctilux 0.95. Crazy money, over $10,000. The hyper primes are just a couple of $1,000s, but there's something new on the market, a Mitakon 35mm f 0.95 for the Fuji X Mount, and they do a 50mm full frame 0.95 as well. I got to play with one in Beijing. Let's have a little look. Okay, so interestingly, this lens comes with a fully declicked aperture, and for whatever reason, it did meter just fine on the Fuji. Everything worked, but for whatever reason, the aperture was reporting itself as f1. No matter, even having it wide open, it was telling the camera it was at f1. I have to say, the build quality of this overall was surprisingly good. It felt solid and well built, not like a Noctilux, even though it's taking some of the markings cues from that. Of course not. But they're selling them on their own website for $680. It certainly seems interesting for people who want a super fast prime lens. Now, keep in mind, we're talking incredibly shallow depths of fields, even at a slightly wider angle like a 35mm here. Here's some shots. I apologize, it's all a bit boring. Jade and I were at a corporate dinner, so shots of the table, shots of her. Just pulling focus, it's so incredibly narrow, the depth of field you have. We'd be talking about millimeters. So with a few sample shots I was able to fire off, this was somebody at the dinner's actual lens, it was incredibly hard, even with the focus peaking that the Fuji X-T1 I was shooting on offered, to get it pin sharp at 0.95. So I think unless you were outdoors in great sunlight and using focus peaking and a bit further from your subject to give you a bigger depth of field, most likely you're going to want to take insurance shots of f1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.4 to know you've got it in focus anyway, because at 0.95 it's just so incredibly thin, even with the peaking. But I have to say, whilst it's a brand no one's heard of, Mitakon, all brands were like that at one stage. So if they keep improving their quality and they keep bringing out more lenses, looks like they've got 85s on the way, at a tenth of the price of some of the other competitors, or, a 20th of the price of the Leica, it's certainly an interesting addition to the market. If you get a chance, try one out for yourself, see if the balance of quality to price does it for you. For me, I found it really interesting, and I think that they will keep going. For their first offering, the build quality is certainly right up there, and the optics are what you'd expect for the money, but not terrible. Thanks, guys. Stay tuned. More gear talk coming soon. What's up? Hello. Oh, you want to go?
Want to try?
Oh, no wonder he's bitey. He's got a taste for meat. Pretty fucked up.